talks of the 305 at the nation's capital.
So the extreme heat is becoming much more of an issue.
Our DC Bureau is live. A terrifying incident on air.
Tragic incident will be investigated.
Causing medical care on the ground moments after landing. And gator danger during mating season.
They're around us all the time when we don't know it.
And what officials are saying to prevent an attack. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Jason Arrow.
I'm Ivan Ilevsky. Today is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Up on the roof of the FIU bureau in D.C., a celebration of Miami's impact on America's capital. FIU and D.C. hosted the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce for a briefing on climate and infrastructure advancement.
Caplin News D.C. Bureau reporter Laura Palfrey was at the event and joins us now live from Washington this morning. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. Researchers and government officials met here to discuss Miami's pivotal role in shaping the future for climate technology.
Well, we're here to advocate for research solutions.
Members of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, researchers, and guests began this briefing by discussing some of the biggest climate issues South Florida is currently dealing with.
So the extreme heat is becoming much more of an issue much faster than we thought it was going to be, and that then translates from the air to the ocean. So this extreme heat issue is not only an immediate human health problem, but it's a problem for all of our South Florida ecosystems.
Rita Tutonico, the Associate Dean of Research at FIU, explained the dangers of high water temperature while showing a graph that monitors the changes in real time.
Temperatures get above 30, which is really hot. That's the oxygen capacity of the water goes way down.
The Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce works closely with FIU on initiatives to combat these climate issues.
But in Miami, we consider that the environment is our business, and so that's why the Chamber takes a business interest in that. We were very instrumental in passing the Everglades Restoration Act, and then ever since then we've had an annual meeting, a summit, if you will, of business professionals to try to find business solutions to the climate problem.
The Everglades Restoration Act and advancing climate technology will reduce discharges to coastal estuaries, safeguard our drinking water, and support our economy. The Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce will be meeting with the Florida congressional delegation throughout the week to advocate for better education, housing, and transportation for communities across South Florida. Reporting for Caplin News in Washington, D.C., I'm Laura Palfrey.
Millions of Americans in the Midwest this morning are recovering from a mass spree of tornadoes. At least 12 states reported being affected by the storm system, with Iowa State Patrol saying it suffered several fatalities and injuries. Effects of the storm have varied. Parts of Nebraska have experienced major floodings, Illinois saw dust storms, and Colorado saw a hailstorm.
A terrifying moment took place overnight on a Singapore Airlines flight from London heading to Singapore. A violent turbulence threw passengers and objects around within the plane. As Caplin News' Nade Pereira reports, around 7 were critically injured along with 1 death.
This was not the landing passengers aboard a Singapore Airlines flight from London overnight were expecting. Ambulances, triage tents, and a swarm of medical personnel tending to dozens of injuries suffered by those on board when violent turbulence rocked the Boeing jet mid-flight.
This tragic incident will be investigated to see whether the pilots had gotten a warning that they were coming into a dangerous area.
At least 1 fatality was reported after the diverted plane, originally bound for Singapore, landed safely in Bangkok, Thailand early Tuesday morning. The airline confirmed the death in a social media post, adding that there were 211 passengers and 18 crew members on flight SQ321. Most of the injured passengers suffered cuts and bruises, said an airport official in Bangkok, who added that many on the jet were wearing seatbelts at the time of the turbulence. Singapore's Ministry of Transportation confirmed it has opened an investigation into the incident, and in the same statement said they will deploy their own safety experts to Thailand.
They need to make sure there hasn't been significant fatigue to the structure. It's possible the aircraft will be a total loss.
The plane was a Boeing 777-300. The aircraft maker responded to the deadly event in their own statement, saying, "The company is standing by to support Singapore Airlines, extends their condolences, and is keeping all of the passengers and crew in their thoughts." Thai authorities say almost 200 passengers are awaiting other flights to their destinations, while some of the injured remain at local hospitals. For Caplin News, I'm Natalie Pereira.
A warning for women this morning about the dangers of high blood pressure in the lungs. Caplin News reporter Melissa Krickler has more from a medical expert on the condition called pulmonary hypertension.
It's high blood pressure in the lungs, and several types of pulmonary hypertension disproportionately affect women. This Women's Health Week, experts warn this dangerous condition.
The earlier you can detect a disease, the earlier you can treat it and you can prevent it from worsening.
It is often misdiagnosed or the symptoms are dismissed. Pulmonary hypertension is a progressive disease, which can include shortness of breath, fatigue, weight gain, swelling of the abdomen or lower extremities, chest pain, and irregular heartbeats, all of which Lam says are nonspecific and could be dismissed or misdiagnosed as another condition.
Providers think patients have more common entities such as asthma or sometimes even anxiety. So misdiagnosis is very common. And again, that's a problem because we're dealing with a disease that is progressive. If left untreated, things will get worse.
Lam says there are about 15 FDA-approved drugs to treat this disease, and a novel medication was just approved. But work is still being done to develop targeted therapies to prevent or stop the disease from progressing.
It is treatable, and we really encourage patients to seek medical care as soon as possible.
For Caplin News, I'm Melissa Krickler.
Alligator attacks have been increasing here in South Florida and across the state. Experts have linked it to the start of their mating season. Capital News reporter Brian Diaz has more what you need to know should you come across a gator.
Keep safe distance to keep yourself safe living alongside these animals.
That's the message from the Palm Beach Zoo after a farm worker was bitten in the leg by a gator on Thursday. On Monday, a baby gator was found in a Palm Beach Gardens fountain, and last week a dog was attacked and had his leg amputated from an apparent gator bite.
Animals aren't mean. Animals are just what they need to be to survive.
Survival instincts, heightened by mating season.
Those moms are taking care of those babies. The males are taking care of their ponds, and they are going to be protective.
The Palm Beach Zoo said gators were nearly extinct, but after conservation efforts, Florida Fish and Wildlife says the gator population is now over 1 million strong.
To get his dog, for free his dog from the alligator.
Trauma Medical Director David Roubaix with HCA Florida Longwood Hospital said,
"One of them was swimming in shallow water, and all of a sudden he got the alligator to bite his foot.
He's already had to operate on 3 people from gator attacks.
The most severe one ended up with amputation of part of the hands.
He said the issue with gator bites,
their mouth and teeth are infested with certain types of bacteria,
is that their long teeth dig deep into their victims,
and it became very difficult to treat with regular antibiotics.
According to Florida Fish and Wildlife, over the last 10 years, Florida has averaged 8 unprovoked bites per year.
Avoid going to the close to the edge of the pond, especially during dark."
For Caplin News, Brian Diaz.
If you love Legos and you love dinosaurs, then you may want to check out the latest exhibit in Tampa. A Lego builder from Scotland is behind a new exhibit called Brick Dinos. It opened for the first time Saturday at the Tampa Museum of Science and Industry, and will be there through September 3rd. Admission to the museum is $14 for adults and $10 for children.
The Marlins are jumping out to a lead against Milwaukee and then just trying to hold on to it.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Being a member of the community, being a parent, it's so important to the fabric of our city. So being able to integrate what we do here and kind of host them and raise awareness and help raise money.
A huge fan of auto racing sees one of her dreams come true at the Indianapolis 500. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hail to the Chief, a teenage girl who overcame a rare childhood skin condition, getting a lead in the Indianapolis 500 pit crew for a day. They say never meet your heroes, Ivana.
16-year-old motorsports superfan Calista De Leon would say otherwise this morning after IndyCar Series racer Ed Carpenter gave her a lifelong memory. In a partnership with the Riley's Children's Foundation calls Racers for Riley, Carpenter gave De Leon a tour of his car and her own tracksuit on Monday. A former racer as a child, this was a dream come true for her.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. I want to go into motorsports marketing when I grow up.
De Leon's story with Riley's Foundation has gone full circle. She was diagnosed with a rare skin disease in kindergarten and treated 3 days a week at Riley's Children's Hospital. Nearly a year in July, she got off her last medication and now gets back to the foundation by raising money.
The Marlins will have another chance today to win their series against the Brewers after blowing a lead late into last night's outing. Down 4-1, the bottom of the fifth, the Fishman should load up the bases. Josh Bell sack fly would get the Marlins back on the board. And Otto Lopez sack bunt and Emmanuel Rivera RBI single deep into the sixth would tie the game. Another sack fly, this time from Dane Myers, would finally give the Marlins the lead. Christian Yelich would play spoiler through in his former home, nailing in a 2-run triple at the top of the eighth. The Brewers would never relinquish the lead, and the final score was Brewers 7, Marlins 5.
As of this morning, the WNBA's new global star, Caitlin Clark, is the only other athlete besides Michael Jordan to ink a deal with Wilson Sport Goods. Clark will have her own signature basketball collection with the brand. This comes after her debut against the Connecticut Sun, which was the highest viewed game of the W and ESPN history. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I was depressed in ways I never imagined. I reached out, and my sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Ivan Ilewski.
I'm Jason Howard. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.